Michael always believed his life was simple and honest. He married Sarah when they were both 24. They met in college, fell in love over late-night study sessions, and dreamed about a quiet family life. They built everything together: a small house, 2 children, and routines that felt permanent. Michael worked as a nurse in a hospital. Night shifts, long hours, emergencies that drained his soul. He believed his sacrifice was for his family. He believed Sarah understood. For years, she told him she did. He remembered the day their first child, Ethan, was born. He cried when he held him. 3 years later, their daughter Lily arrived. Sarah looked exhausted but happy. Michael thought his life was complete. He never imagined those children might not be his. The first sign was small, almost nothing. One evening, Ethan asked him, "Why do I look nothing like you?" Michael laughed. "Kids don't always look like their parents. You look like your mom." But later that night, he looked at old photos. Ethan had dark hair and green eyes. Lily had blonde hair and blue eyes. Michael and Sarah both had brown hair and brown eyes. He told himself it was genetics, random chance, but the thought stayed. Then he noticed something else. Ethan was closer to Sarah's best friend, David, than to him. David was always around family barbecues, birthdays, holidays. He was the uncle who brought gifts and played games. Michael never questioned it, until Ethan once said, "Uncle David says I got my eyes from him." Michael laughed in front of everyone. Inside, something broke. He started noticing similarities. Ethan laughed like David. He had the same facial expressions, the same hand gestures. Lily looked nothing like David but nothing like Michael either. The doubt grew like poison. One night, while Sarah was sleeping, Michael searched her desk for paperwork for school. He found an envelope. Inside was a DNA test kit receipt from a private clinic. His hands shook. Why would Sarah test the children without telling him? He waited 2 days before confronting her. "Why did you do a DNA test?" he asked calmly. Sarah froze. "It was just curiosity." "Lots of parents do it," she said. "Where are the results?" She hesitated. "I lost them." That was the moment he knew something was wrong. Michael ordered his own tests. He told Sarah it was just for fun. She smiled nervously. The waiting was torture. He went to work, treated patients, saved lives. While his own life was collapsing quietly, he imagined every possibility. He imagined confronting her. He imagined walking away. He imagined killing himself. The results arrived on a rainy afternoon. He sat alone in his car outside the clinic. He opened the envelope. Ethan, not biological father. Lily, biological father. One child was his, one was not. His hands dropped the paper. He screamed inside the car until his throat burned. He didn't go home that night. He drove for hours, replaying every memory. David's jokes, David's closeness to Sarah, the way Ethan loved David. Everything made sense now. The next morning, he confronted her. He placed the papers on the table. Sarah's face turned white. "How long?" he asked. She cried instantly. "It was one time," she said. He laughed bitterly. "One time makes a child." She confessed. She and David had an affair for 3 years during Michael's night shifts. She said she felt lonely. She said she needed attention. She said she never planned for it to happen. Michael asked the worst question. Did David know? She nodded. He knew Ethan was his. Michael felt sick. Then came the most terrifying truth. Almost everyone knew. Her sister knew. Her mother suspected. David's wife suspected. Some friends suspected. Nobody told Michael. They thought it was better if he never knew. They thought they were protecting him. They were protecting her. Michael felt like his entire world was fake. Every birthday party, every family photo, every laugh. A lie. He confronted David. David tried to act calm. "You were always working," David said. "She needed someone." Michael punched him hard. He wanted to kill him, but he didn't. Single quotes T. He walked away. The hardest part was the children. Ethan was innocent. He loved Michael. He called him Dad. Michael loved him too. But every time he looked at Ethan, he saw betrayal. He hated himself for feeling that way. Sarah begged him not to leave. "You're still their father," she cried. "You raised him," she said. "Blood doesn't matter," she said. But blood mattered now. Michael moved out. He rented a small apartment. He kept seeing Lily. He kept seeing Ethan. But something inside him changed. He felt like an actor in his own life. People judged him. "Why are you leaving?" "She made a mistake. You're still the father. Think about the kids." No one asked how he felt. He went to therapy. He drank. He stopped drinking. He tried dating. He failed. Trust was gone. Ethan once asked him, "Why don't you live with us anymore?" Michael froze. He wanted to tell the truth, but he said, "Adults sometimes change houses." He didn't want Ethan to carry the burden of adults' mistakes. Years passed. Sarah married David. Yes, she married him. Michael attended Ethan's birthday party once and saw them together laughing, holding hands. He felt nothing. He felt empty. Lily stayed with Michael half the time. Ethan stayed with Sarah and David. Michael loved Ethan, but he slowly stepped back. He knew Ethan needed his biological father too. One night, years later, Ethan called him. "Dad, I found out." Michael stayed silent. "I did a DNA test. I know you're not my biological father." Michael waited. "I still consider you my dad," Ethan said. "You raised me, but I understand why you left." Michael cried for the first time in years. Sarah tried to apologize again. "I destroyed you," she said. "Yes," he replied, "but I rebuilt myself." Michael eventually remarried. He had another child. He loved that child deeply, but he never forgot Ethan. He learned that fatherhood is more than DNA. But betrayal changes everything. Sarah once wrote in her journal, "I didn't just cheat on my husband, I cheated my children out of an honest family." Michael wrote in his, "Love is fragile, trust is everything, and secrets destroy more than truth ever could." Michael thought the truth would destroy him. He was wrong. The truth didn't destroy him. It changed him into someone he didn't recognize. After moving out, the apartment felt empty. No children laughing. No Sarah cooking in the kitchen. No dog running across the hallway. Just silence. He sat on the floor the first night and stared at the wall until sunrise. He replayed every moment of his marriage, searching for the exact second it broke. But betrayal doesn't happen in 1 second. It happens in hundreds of small lies. He remembered nights when Sarah said she was tired and went to bed early. He remembered David staying late after barbecues. He remembered how they always shared private jokes. He had laughed with them. He had trusted them. That was the part that haunted him the most. The hospital became his escape. He took extra shifts. He worked until his body collapsed. He volunteered for the worst cases. Pain in others distracted him from his own. But every time he saw a newborn baby in the maternity ward, he thought of Ethan. One night, he dreamed he was holding baby Ethan again. In the dream, Ethan asked him, "Why did you leave me?" Michael woke up crying. Sarah kept calling, "Please come back. You're still their father. We can fix this." He blocked her for months, but he never blocked the children. One afternoon, Ethan visited his apartment. The boy walked around, looking at the empty walls. "Why don't you have pictures of us?" he asked. Michael swallowed. "I'm still unpacking," he lied. Ethan sat on the couch and said quietly, "Mom says you don't love me anymore." That sentence felt like a knife. Michael hugged him tightly. "I love you," he said. "That will never change." He meant it. But love doesn't erase pain. David tried to talk to him. He sent a message, "I know I messed up, but we both love Ethan. We should be adults." Michael didn't reply. Being an adult didn't mean forgiving betrayal. Sarah and David started dating publicly. They stopped hiding. People acted like it was normal. That was another betrayal. No one asked Michael how he felt. They just moved on. Michael's parents begged him to forgive Sarah. "You built a family. Don't destroy it," he answered. "She destroyed it. I just stopped pretending." Years passed slowly. Ethan grew closer to David. Lily stayed close to Michael. Michael tried to be a good father, but something inside him was guarded, locked, careful. He promised himself, No one would ever hurt him like that again. One night, Ethan came to him with a school project. Can you help me with my family tree? He asked. Michael froze. Sure, he said. They sat at the table. Ethan wrote, Father, David Dad. Michael Mitchell stared at the paper. Why both? He asked. Ethan smiled sadly. David is my father. You're my dad. Michael couldn't speak. As Ethan became a teenager, he started asking questions. Why did you and Mom divorce? Why do people cheat? Would you cheat? Michael answered honestly. Cheating is selfishness. It's choosing yourself over everyone else. One day, Ethan confronted Sarah. I know everything, he said. She cried. I never wanted you to find out this way. You lied to Dad, Ethan said. You lied to me too. That day, she lost her son's trust. Years later, when Ethan turned 18, he visited Michael alone. I did another DNA test, he said. Michael nodded. I know. I still call you my dad, Ethan said. Blood doesn't change that. Michael hugged him for the first time. Betrayal felt smaller. Sarah watched this from a distance. She realized something painful. She had cheated on her husband, but she had also cheated her children out of truth. Michael eventually found love again. He married a woman who knew his story, his trauma, his fear. I might never fully trust again, he told her. That's okay, she said. Trust grows slowly. He had another child. This time, he felt peace, but he never forgot Ethan. Years later, when Ethan turned 18, he visited Michael alone. I did another DNA test, he said. Michael nodded. I know. I still call you my dad, Ethan said. Blood doesn't change that. Michael hugged him for the first time. Betrayal felt smaller. Sarah watched this from a distance. She realized something painful. She had cheated on her husband, but she had also cheated her children out of truth. Michael eventually found love again. He married a woman who knew his story, his trauma, his fear. I might never fully trust again, he told her. That's okay, she said. Trust grows slowly. He had another child. This time, he felt peace, but he never forgot Ethan. Michael stood at Ethan's graduation ceremony, watching him walk across the stage. The boy he had raised, the boy who wasn't his by blood, the boy who still called him Dad. Ethan found him in the crowd and smiled. Not at David, not at Sarah. At Michael. That smile healed something Michael thought was permanently broken. After the ceremony, Ethan hugged him tightly. Thank you for never leaving me, he whispered. Michael answered quietly, I never left you. I just left the lies. Sarah watched from a distance. She saw the bond she had almost destroyed. She saw the man she betrayed still standing strong. She saw the son who loved both men, but trusted only one. And she realized something that would haunt her forever. She didn't just cheat on a husband. She changed the course of her children's lives. Years later, Michael sat in his new home with his wife and their child. He looked at family photos on the wall. This time, there were no secrets, no doubts, no lies. Just truth. He once wrote in his journal, Love is fragile, trust is everything, and betrayal doesn't end with the people who cheat. It echoes through children, families, and generations. Ethan kept Michael's last letter in his wallet. You were never a mistake. You were the best part of my life. Sarah, older and quieter, once admitted to a friend, I thought cheating would make me happy. Instead, it taught me what it feels like to lose everything that mattered.